I'm Ted Keys, your host and top freight agent training expert here in Southern California. This topic comes from my 30 plus years of business, sales, and freight moving success. Watch, learn, and apply it. You'll move more freight efficiently, effectively, effortlessly, and make more money financially. And call me at 626-309-9141 with any questions. Now explode your business with...
Hey guys, hello and welcome again to my Tuesday training call. I'm Ted Keys, your host and top freight sales training expert and freight broker training expert. Today I'll show you how to move more freight efficiently, effectively, and effortlessly so you make more money financially. And after the call today, go to my website, tedkeysonline.com, to hear more of my podcasts, read more of my blog posts, watch more of my videos, and while you're there, visit my Freight Sales Success Store for top-notch freight moving products to explode your business today. And if you have any questions today, any questions regardless of what it is, or specifically, are you ready for my top producing one-on-one personal freight sales, freight broker training? Then give me a call, Ted Keys. I'm at 626-309-9141. My training topic today is 5 big ways freight brokers lose loads. 5 big ways freight brokers lose loads. For those of you that are on my contact list, I've sent you a number of email invites today to get on the call. Scroll down to the bottom if you haven't already, and we're going to go over those free attachments that I provide on every call. Those free attachments are at the bottom. Just if you haven't, print them out so we can go over them. If you are not on my contact list, just go to my website, tedkeysonline.com, homepage, upper right hand corner. Just go ahead and enter your contact details. That will get you on my contact list. Hence, I will send you a weekly email invite every week to my Tuesday training call. However, let's go over our topic today. Great topic today, 5 big ways freight brokers lose loads. Now, there's several ways or several reasons why we may end up losing a freight load. And there's reasons that are beyond our control. Let me just give you an example. The carrier backed out, either backed out day before, backed out last minute, unfortunately backed out, and hey, who looks bad in the process? You do. That's one way to lose a load. Another way to lose a load is that your freight is coming out of an area where there's just, you've searched high and low, especially let's say you're in the holiday season. You've searched high and low. There are no trucks that you're aware of that will go in and pick up your load. Those are elements beyond your control. But I'm going to talk today about those elements that you can control. But unfortunately, freight brokers and freight agents, they just don't put in what's required to pick up the loads and deliver them in a great way. Either way, freight brokers and agents, they don't necessarily have to continue losing their freight loads, but they will, because those certain individuals, those brokers and agents, they refuse to learn to sell their services effectively. And when I say sell their services effectively, I mean provide the outstanding service that their customers require. I'm going to go over 5 big ways why freight agents, freight brokers lose their loads, not only every day, but any type of load, First reason why they lose loads is when freight brokers are rude or condescending. It's when freight brokers are rude or condescending. A lot of times this happens when they've built up a business and, hey, freight's going along great. However, something happens, as it always does. Something happens, challenge comes up, or they get a call from who knows, a carrier, another broker, and they just don't have the time. Nor do they want the time to to speak to certain individuals, and a lot of times that relays over to their customers. They actually become rude or condescending. 42% of freight customers, they'll just go elsewhere when they come up, when they witness that rude experience. And everyone in that organization that they represent, they also have that same ability to be rude and condescending as well. Most people, again, most people in an organization, they don't realize they are condescending, and it's because they just don't have the awareness that they are to provide superior customer and superior freight service. Let me give you an example of being condescending. Sir, our number is on our website. Here's another one. It says right there in the contract. I mean, it's all spelled out there for you. Another one, did you download it? It's right there. Another one, the Freight Con is in your email inbox. Did you check it? Well, go back and check it again. I will be very honest with you in this capacity. I say these things myself. Unfortunately, I'm saying it. However, I am a work in progress, because the more successful that you become, the more individuals that you have to speak to. Now, if you're just starting, hey, don't even think about this. This is more for individuals that have been doing this a while. But the last thing that you want to do is become rude or condescending, because you've spent so much time bringing in that customer. The last thing that you want to see them do is go away, because they're going to go away eventually anyway, and that's just how it works. What you're basically saying when you're being rude or condescending is you're saying, hey, you're stupid. You're stupid. You know, you're so stupid that I don't have the time to talk to you, and you can't afford to lose customers over these condescending attitudes. Rudeness cannot be tolerated. You just cannot tolerate it. Now, if you operate by yourself, or say somebody else in one office, hey, then you can control that rudeness, all right? But if you're representing somebody, you know, you go to work every day and you've got this, you know, team behind you, hey, it's difficult for, you know, you to control somebody else being rude or condescending to your customers. However, you know, in order to get good at this, be sympathetic, be empathetic. Say things like, hey, and again, when I say this, I mean to your customers. Say things like, hey, I understand. Hey, I'm with you. You deserve it. Or I want to solve that for you. So commit to the solution first, because in every situation, there's got to be a solution. Commit to the solution first and handle the challenge after that. Commit to the solution first, because typically that's why you're being rude or condescending, because you're faced with a situation that you just don't want to solve. Professionals will tackle the situation first and then deal with everything else after that. So reason number one, or way number one, it's when freight brokers are rude or condescending. The second way is when freight brokers, they don't solve the problem. You know, that's when customers are going to go away. The top reason we're given opportunities, guys, the top reason we're given opportunities to move somebody's freight, it's to solve a problem. It's to solve a challenge that they're currently having. That's why you continue to call individuals, continue to call shipping decision makers, and continue to follow up with them. Why do you follow up? Because eventually they will require you to solve a problem, to solve a challenge for them. Now, you're going to lose them if you don't have the ability to solve that issue, all right? But that's how we typically get in and start moving freight for a customer. It's because they have an issue and they ask us to solve it. As far as I know, I have never heard this where an agent went in totally unbeknownst to a customer prospect, and that customer prospect just automatically said, hey, here are all my cherry loads, here are all my great paying loads, here, start moving them. They're easy loads, they pay well, here they are, start moving them. No, customers do not do that. Customers usually give us, if 95% of the time initially, they give us those loads that are a challenge. That's when freight brokers, if they don't solve that challenge, they're just not going to get the business. 82% of customers, let me say it again, 82% of customers said that the number one factor to great customer service is solving their problems quickly. 82% say solving their problems quickly, that is the number one thing that they look for in great customer service. 50% of dissatisfied customers will tell 10 or more people about their bad experience. Not only their bad experience, but their bad experience with you. You see, when we do something great, that's just expected. But when customers and prospects, they have that bad experience, they tell 10 plus more other people. Why? Because we're just, as a culture, as a human race, we're addicted to drama, and we love sharing that drama with everybody else. That's why when there's something bad happens, that incident, it gets shoved out there into the marketplace like it's nobody's business. You don't tell people about the times they do great work. People usually tell people about that bad experience, so you must assist in solving that challenge. You must assist in solving that challenge. That's reason number 2, and that's when freight brokers, they just don't solve the problem. The third way that we lose loads, freight brokers lose loads, is when freight brokers ignore the customer. When freight brokers ignore the customer, here's a great word of advice from me. I am not a telephone system person. When somebody calls our office, our main goal is to answer the phone. If nobody's in the office, say after hours, make sure the telephone voicemail is on so they can at least hear a voicemail as to when they can leave a message. To me, when somebody calls in here and they're given a bunch of prompts, and there's only, 2 of us in the office, which is how our office operates. Yes, I have agents all over the place, but in our office there are 2 people, myself and my wife Maria. One of us will answer the phone. Why? Because it's personal. It's personal. So, when freight brokers ignore the customer, here's an example of being impersonal. I am not a big fan of these systems that direct you to one person or the other. Another thing is emails. When somebody emails me, not only do I do this, but I train everybody to do it. When somebody emails me, respond immediately. Respond immediately. If you don't respond immediately and you wait a day or 2, that is when you're ignoring the customer. Now, say you're solving a challenge for your prospect, for your customer, and it's a load. It's one of these obscure deals where, you post the load and nobody's calling on it. Always let them know that you're still working on the rate for them. Whether you're working on a rate or finding a truck, you don't just post a load and wait till somebody calls you on it. If nobody's calling you within an hour, email them. Let them know that you're still working. See, that's a form of communication. That's like a notch every time that you communicate them, letting your future customer, your future prospect know that you are working on their challenge. But the third reason is when freight brokers ignore the customer. Let me give you an example of being ignored. How many times do you walk into a department store, a Macy's, or whatever it is? You just walk through. Yeah, you see the workers there, but nobody pays any attention to you. That is an example of being ignored. Even though the employees are right there, the question is, are they being trained to approach you, or are they just being lazy? That's an example of being ignored. So the third way is when freight brokers ignore their customers. Fourth way that we lose loads, or inexperienced freight brokers that don't care, they lose loads, is they don't allow others to help. They don't allow others in the organization to help. How many times have you or you've heard somebody say, "Let me talk to your supervisor"? If it's me, and if I had a supervisor, I could say I have a supervisor, but it's at the corporate level. But if somebody said to me, "Let me talk to your supervisor," I would be more than happy to direct them to the supervisor. Because you know what? If they're coming to me, they're coming to me with an issue. Unfortunately, I'm unable to solve it. So yeah, If it can be solved at the corporate level, I always direct issues and problems and challenges to the corporate level, especially when it comes to, insurance claims or damaged cargo, things like that. I'm always sending, folks to the corporate level to handle that issue. Why? It shows my customer, it shows my prospect that I have a team of individuals behind me, assisting me at every point of the way. So that's an advantage when you can show your prospect and your customer that you have a team of individuals supporting you. Unfortunately, a lot of individuals, a lot of freight agents, they just want everything to stay right here. They don't want their customer to know that there's somebody else, that there's somebody else assisting them. If you want to lose customers, then be that way. Don't allow others to help you. However, if you want to keep customers, for the most part, customers want to see that they've got a group of people supporting me and supporting them. So the fourth reason is that freight brokers, they don't allow others to intervene or help in their business or in their profession. Fifth way that freight brokers lose loads is that they are too pushy. They are too pushy. Let me say this. Unfortunately, for the most part, we're not pushy enough. We're not pushy enough. But there are those small incidences where you've got somebody, and it's a freight agent, freight broker with a poor attitude that goes into a conversation or whatever it is, and they're just too pushy. But overall, let me just say this again, we're not pushy enough. And we're not pushy enough when it comes to following up. Because, as I keep saying, 80% of your sales will come between your 5th and your 12th contact. Let me say that again. 80% of your sales will come between your 5th and your 12th contact. What does that mean? What that means is you've got to follow up time after time after time until you get into that 5th through that 12th contact realm. In order to do that, you've got to be pushy. However, when it comes to solving an issue or something like that, you've got to restrain yourself, guys. You've got to let your customer know that you've got them at the center of your heart and that you will do whatever it takes to solve their problem. However, on the sales realm, you've got to be pushy. You've got to be pushing through, getting through to your shipping decision maker when you call them, so that they know that you are a player, that you're persevering, that you're determined to get their business. That's why they eventually give us their business, because they want to know that they're dealing with doers. In the end, guys, the bottom line here is that too many freight brokers and agents, they're making too many simple mistakes that warrant them to staying in the business, their business, or this profession. When you act as the ultimate freight sales professional, losing loads will sound totally foreign to you. Great topic today, guys. Again, that topic is 5 big ways freight brokers lose their freight loads. Guys, thanks again for joining me today on my Tuesday training call. Pleasure having you. I'll see you all again next week, same time, Tuesday, 2 p.m. Pacific time and 5 p.m. Eastern time on my Tuesday training call. Take care, God bless. I'll see you all again next Tuesday on my Tuesday training call. Bye-bye.
When you arrive at my Freight Sales Success Store today, you'll see a host of products available there for purchase. First one you'll see available is my flagship product. That is my Freight Sales Success Guide, typically for beginner and struggling freight agents. If you're searching for that daily motivation to set goals, to achieve them, to pick up the phone daily and connect and build relationships with the marketplace, then opt for my Freight Sales Success Quotes. And if you're searching for those specific skills, and there are many skills, many individual skills required to be successful in this profession, then opt for my Freight Sales Success Skill. I highly recommend each one of these products, available for purchase today in my Freight Sales Success Store. Do you have any questions again? Do you have any questions about today's call? Or more importantly, are you ready for my top producing one-on-one personal freight sales, freight broker training?
then give me, Ted Keys, a call. I'm at 626-309-9141. Great topic for today. Take these skills, apply them. You'll be amazed at what happens to your results.